Welcome back to another episode of What's Hot New Mexico. My name is Nikayla, and I am the host of this podcast. Today I have with me a local rapper by the name of Ayo Soldier and his record label CEO owner, Fetty. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for watching all of the other videos. Your support means everything, and we couldn't do this without you. And check in to Ayo Soldier's newest album, which just dropped.
If you enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe and consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal to help us bring you more content like this. You can find this episode and all of our podcasts on the Albuquerque Journal website, abqjournal.com, as well as YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. See the show notes for a discount code on a digital subscription. Thank you for supporting the Albuquerque Journal, New Mexico's leading news.
Welcome to another episode of What's Hot New Mexico. My name is Nikayla, and today I'm joined here with a local rapper, Ayo Soldier, and the CEO of the record company, and his name is Fetty. And how are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, and so, man, you just dropped a new album. Let's just jump right into that and tell me a little bit about that album. You have Juicy J as a feature on there.
I do. I'm super proud of it. I worked really, really hard on this one. It took a little bit of some time to get it ready since the last album, but I'm happy that it's here. So
yeah,
everybody seems to like it, so I'm like, go listen to it.
And so, before we even jump into the album, tell me a little bit about your career as a rapper in New Mexico.
Oh my goodness. So I've been here since I was child. I was born in Mexico, and then I was brought here since I was little. I started doing music since I was about 12. Mm-hmm. And then professionally, I've been going about maybe 8 to 10 years now that I've been really like taking it serious. And so like I would do little projects here and there, but like I dropped my first official album about in 2023, and it was just self-titled, and it did pretty good. And then after a while, I wanted to do another one. And I called it Reload. I called it Reload because it's like my second, like...
You're reloading it back in.
Exactly. I feel like I emptied the clip the first time, so now I'm coming back with a reload, and I feel like I did really good on it, so I hope you guys like it.
Yeah, and so when we're thinking about this album, tell me about a couple of the songs for you that, you know, of course you love all your songs, but what are some of your favorite on this recent album?
Well, one that I gotta say is my favorite, and that did like a lot for me, is my feature with MC Magic. It's a song called Something About You, featuring him and Selena, and it was kind of like a nostalgic type of song because we did kind of like a remake of one of his classic songs called Pretty Girl. And
I love that song.
We were working on the song, and I posted a video working on like what we were doing, and I posted it. And some of my followers sent it to Magic, and he sent me a message, and he's like, "Hey, I like what you're doing. You should let me get on the song with you." And I'm like, "Let's do it." And so that's how that came to be. But once I put the song out, like I started getting a lot more recognition. A lot of people started really paying attention to what I was doing, and so that's one of my favorites right now. So
yeah, and we talked about favorite songs. Do you write your own music?
I do. I write my own lyrics.
And tell me, like, give me a bar of yours that is one that you're like, dang, I really did my big one with that.
Oh my goodness, a good bar from mine. Let me see. What's something that I say on the album? Oh, there's a line that from a music video that I'm about to release this Sunday. It says, "Now look at us, we're in this weird crash. Can't breathe, cry hard. This love is tear gas." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it. I don't know. When I wrote that, I was like, wow. Like I said that.
I did
like,
that.
Yeah, I wrote that. That was super cool. So like every time I hear it, I'm like, oof. Like goosebumps, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was one that I was really proud of.
And so, you know, being a rapper in New Mexico, tell me a little bit about the New Mexican rap scene as a whole. Do we have a lot here, or is it kind of building up?
There's a lot out here. There's so much talent out here that I don't think gets seen enough. I mean, our record label has a bunch of artists that we work with already, super talented, but even outside our record label, there's a ton of talent out there. The scene is huge, so if you're looking for it, you're going to find it.
Yeah. And so for you, what made you jump into the rap genre instead of a different genre? What about that was for you?
So a lot of people don't know this. I actually started more liking with rock. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I would listen to at first. My family was real big on rock or like hippie music. And, like, you know what I mean? And so that's what I would listen to like when I was little. And then after a while, I started kind of like just going into like hip hop, rap. It just kind of transitioned through when I was like hitting like middle school, high school. I guess that's, you know what I mean, kind of how it came to be. I grew up in the South Valley, so I was like very street oriented, and so like that's kind of what drew me into like hip hop and the things that I was doing with my friends, and like, you know what I mean, we was real, I guess, street related stuff that we were doing back then. So like that's what drew me into the hip hop scene as well.
So growing up in the streets of New Mexico, how do you feel like that's influenced some of your music?
Okay, so that definitely influenced a lot of the things that I like write about, because I had to learn how to survive out here and did many different aspects, because like I didn't grow up like with a father per se. My father was in Mexico, and it was actually my grandfather. He's already gone, rest in peace. I lost him in 2008, and so there's still a lot of things that I feel like I could have learned with him that I had to learn out there, as far as how to survive out here, how to protect myself, especially in Albuquerque. It could get really dangerous. How to like, know what I mean, treat certain people, how do you say it, to carry myself with respect, and just things like that. And you could hear it in the music when you listen to what I'm talking about. You could see, like, know what I mean, that I was brought up with respect, and I was brought up with a survival instinct, because I grew up out here. So
and so
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. And how did you guys get connected? I mean, you're a CEO of a record label now, so how did that kind of happen?
We've known each other for a while, since back in 2008. We met at CNM, and we just, somebody told me that he had rapped, and, I was rapping too. And so we had just linked up back in 2008 briefly, and I gave him a couple of my beats, because I also produce. And then, just recently, actually, he got me back into music, because I started the record label with my two sons. And they were, rapping and stuff. So I seen the potential in them, and that's why I started it. But we had like a falling off, because they weren't taking it serious.
For sure.
So, he came at me, was like, yo, well, I got this song with MC Magic. I really want to, put it out and get as much as, exposure as we can. So I said, well, I still have the label and the website up, so let's do it. And that's how it started. Wow.
And usually it takes people a while to find a record label, so you guys were kind of meant to meet, because that's a difficult thing sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, our lives kind of correlate a lot. So, since day one, we were really like, we clicked. So, yeah.
And going back to that Juicy J feature, how does that work? Did he, send you a bar online just through email? Did you guys link up in the studio? And how do you even manage to get someone like that?
I wish I would have been able to link up with him in the studio. So the way it works is, I work with a lot of different producers from all over the place. And so as you work with these producers, you start to build relationships to where you start getting messages like, hey, I'm going to have so-and-so in the studio. I'm going to be, going out to this city. I'm working with this person, that person. Do you want to work? Is there's an opportunity for you to work with them? Are you interested? And I'm like, okay, like, know what I mean? If it makes sense, if I'm able to do it, if I'm budgeted right, then yeah, let's make it happen. And that's how all these features really came to be. Like, Magic was the only one that really said, hey, you know what? I want to do it with you.
Yeah.
Let me get on that song. I'll send you the verse. He did it like within 3 days.
Nice.
The other ones I had to like reach out and work through a producer to make it happen. So.
And does it get kind of hard collaborating with other artists? Like, do you ever get sent a verse and you're like, I don't know, that wasn't really my vision? Or do you kind of just let them take over that 30 seconds or a minute and just trust the process?
Yeah, I normally don't get like picky when I'm working with these artists. I let them do their own thing. I mean, they're where they're at and they do what they do. So I'm like, I'm not going to tell the chef how to cook his own dish.
Yeah.
Like, know what I mean? So I just kind of let them do their thing. And after I get it, like, know what I mean? We had a mixing master process done and everything. I end up liking it. I haven't had any features or artists that I worked with that I didn't like their work. So so far it's been good.
And so, as a musician, are you someone that writes and then gets a beat, or do you kind of see what the beat is and write around it?
It depends. There's days that something just kind of hits in my head and I'm like, I need to write this down, or I need to get to like the studio to work on this. And there's times that we just go through beats and like whatever feeling I get off of those beats, and that's how we start. Like, know what I mean? Sometimes we're just vibing. Sometimes we're just listening to beats, not even trying to write anything, and we just start bouncing ideas back and forth, and that's how the better songs come out sometimes. Like, there's songs that we didn't even plan on making at all. We were just hanging out, and that's how they came out.
And the creative flow just takes over. Yeah. And so with this newest album, what are some of the differences between this and some of your other music, and how are you hoping to develop your skill moving forward?
So the difference between this album and the last one is, one, definitely my skill level has improved since the last one. I feel like I became a more confident writer. I feel like I'm like more of a lyricist than, know what I mean, than in previous songs and work projects that I've done before. And then also the features that I have on it, like, know what I mean, I feel like I've definitely grown as far as an artist. My status as an artist, my audience has grown. So you can see like the progress from the last album to the new one.
Well, he's pretty well known south of the border, so.
Yeah. And so, you're here now and your music's blowing up here, but back home, how's it doing out there? I'm sure family members are pumped.
My family over there loves it. They see me as like the superstar. I'm like, I don't know if I'm all that, but I appreciate that they see me like that because they get excited when they see me post online or they share it with everybody. When I tell them, hey, go share for me, and next thing you know, my comments are flooded. I'm like, wait, that's my family. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I love it.
That's how this podcast is. And speaking of, thank you to everyone that watches, including my loved ones and family members, because we really can't produce or put out a piece of art without supporters, and especially family.
We need you guys. So album out now. Go check it out ASAP, please.
And with this album, are you hoping to tour around with it? Are you going to keep it in the city and kind of build up your fans here? Or what's the plan moving forward?
Well, I mean, so far we're starting from here because this is where I'm at. But I am planning to expand out. We've already started making some moves out of state, and so we're working towards it little by little. So we're on our way.
Yeah, and for you as being a record label owner, what are your goals for him moving forward, and how do you, help build up his career on your end?
Well, first of all, it's the platform I'm helping him with. A lot of the legal stuff. And, as far as pushing him, we really want to get out to as many college radio stations as possible.
Oh, okay.
That's where a lot of people are found when it's terrestrial. But other than that, I mean, he's like trailblazing it with the social media, and that's pretty much where it's at these days. So, I'm trying to catch up with him in that aspect. Yeah.
And jumping into your social media, you're pretty active on social media. Do you feel like that's kind of helped boost your career as a whole?
Yeah, definitely. I had to learn that that's really how you're gonna grow your audience because it's in your hand. It's right there. Your phone is right there. Everybody got their phone there, and so it's a lot easier for me to get to you through your phone that's already there versus going straight to every person individually, one by one. And so over the years, I had to learn because I went from having very little to no followers, and then I do little things here and there to try to grow it, and it would work, but then I would be stuck. And then, you know what I mean, as you start growing and you start learning in your social media, you know what tricks work and what don't, what to do, what not to do. And now I'm like a little bit past 30K followers, so I'm really, really happy about that. But I had to work on that. It took a lot of posting, it took a lot of learning, and you know what I mean, I've actually took seminars for social media and stuff like that. Yeah, just because I needed to learn how to maneuver through this. There's so many artists out there, there's so much going on. How do I stay in my audience's face so that way they don't forget that I'm there, And
so, between your social media and your music career, you've been building this up for years. How much patience does it take to do this? And was there ever a time where you were like, man, I'm 5 years in, haven't really hit the numbers that I want to hit, I'm going to tap out? And if so, what kept you going?
Oh my God, you know how many times I was like, I quit. I'm not doing this anymore.
Done with this.
I don't want to do this anymore. No, but it's a passion. I could say I quit all I want. I could get as frustrated all I want, but eventually I'm going to be like, well, I want to make a song.
Right.
Even without it, without me thinking about it, sometimes it'll just come. I'm in the car singing random songs that don't exist, or in the shower, humming songs that don't. I'm in the shower. Like, that. It's just the creative musician flow is always there. So even if I try to ignore it, I can't.
And if you weren't a musician, what do you think you'd be doing?
When I was little, I used to want to be an engineer.
Oh, cool.
And then that kind of faded away. Yeah. And then I grew an interest in radio, so I wanted to be in communications. So I used to pretend to be a radio host when I was a little kid and stuff. And
and look at you now, man. It kind of worked out.
Yeah, I used to prank people. I was calling from the radio station. Radio Lobo 97.7.
Really?
You want tickets? And they're, oh my God, for real? I'm like, no, not for real. So yeah, and then after a while, the music just kind of took over and kind of snapped that I was pretty good at it, and or I felt like I was kind of good at it, and then I just kept going with it and never stopped, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, thank you.
And batting that question back up to you, you said that you started this record label and had a little pause, and it wasn't until Ayo Soldier came back in that you were like, all right, this is really what I want to do and pursue. What were you doing before that, and what would you be doing if this collaboration hadn't happened?
Well, I was doing music. I've always done music, never quit. If I wasn't messing with Soldier, I wouldn't have went the label route. Because I have music in sync now. Yeah. So I have music on Discovery Channel,
cool.
CBS News,
nice.
CBS Sports, things like that. So I have over 100 placements. So I'd be working more on that. But as of now, I'm just waiting on residuals, royalties, and just working on getting the music put out under the label.
Yeah.
And I seen the potential in Soldier, and then the artist that he brings me. That's why I appointed him president of the label, and so he's doing a lot of A&R work, like working with other artists, bringing them in, kind of vetting them in the process of social media, how the process of making music. So, and a lot of them are pretty good. Like, we have a lot of talented artists right now.
Yeah. And taking that back onto you, who's someone that, in New Mexico at least, who's someone that you're really hoping to work with soon and collaborate and, build some craft together?
Somebody from New Mexico that I want to work with. Ooh.
Or even if you've worked with them and you just would love to do it again.
I mean, I've worked with a lot of artists from out here, so, oh my goodness. Let me see, someone that I really hope to work with. I mean, because I work with, other than our label, of course, but like there's an artist out here that I worked with that I'd like to work with again. His name is Jandro. Juan Gambino, he's an artist that like really got me started when I first started doing music. So to work with him is always nice. I'm not sure. I mean, there's so much talent out there. I'm sure there's artists out there that I would love to work with that I haven't even heard. So
For sure.
Hit me up.
And when we look to the future, I know you just released an album, but you're always thinking of what the next thing you're cooking up is, right? So do you already have an idea of, are you going to take a break or maybe just drop some singles or maybe a mixtape or an EP or anything like that? Or what's next in the music kitchen for you?
So I do have some music that is set for the next album, but that's kind of on the back burner because I just dropped this album. So my main focus is just getting this album as far as I can get it. It's going to be a while before I start thinking about any other projects other than this one, but because I'm working on music videos, I'm working on really like taking my time to push each song individually instead of pushing the whole album as a whole. That way every song has a moment to shine. And so that's my focus right now, at least for a while.
For sure. And when we think about music videos, how do you pick a song where you're like, oh, I know that this needs a visual with it? Because I feel like, what if you pick the wrong song and you're like, I should have done something else? How do you determine that?
What really determines is how excited I am at the moment that I release the song or that I get the song ready. There's songs that I make and I'm like, I'm excited for this one, but I might be more excited about this other one first. Like, know what I mean? And so, yeah, like right now we're excited to do a song. It's a Spanish song that I have with our artist Yenko. It's called Pase Lo Que Pase. And so that's the next video that I'm looking to release after this next one coming up. So.
And you speak Spanish. Do you have a little bit of Spanglish on this new album?
There's Spanish, Spanglish, full English. It's all over the place. So yeah, for sure.
Tell me a little bit of a Spanish bar that you write and translate it to English, and tell me a little bit about the difference in how that translation versus how it comes off in Spanish is.
Oh, okay. A line that I say in Spanish. Okay. En camino salgan fuera del mío. Quiero ser grande y fluyo como el río. Dicen que no. Okay. So I'm on my way. Step out my way. I want to be grand like the río. They say that I'm not worth anything and I laugh. But then when they see me, they don't say nothing. It sounds weird in English.
That's what I was going to ask.
It sounds so weird in English.
Do you think when you're trying to make those rhymes and those bars, are you focused more on like how it translates in Spanish? Or are you like, I got to make sure it still makes sense in English? Because that seems so hard.
No, when I'm writing in Spanish, it's just because like my first language was Spanish. And so it just comes out just how I'm used to talking. And like and same thing in English, like I don't know, it's almost like if I speak like two different ways when I'm in English and Spanish, because if you translate my Spanish to English, it's not going to sound nothing like what I talk to in English normally. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just find it interesting. I've always heard that like there are a lot of Spanish sayings that are really hard to translate in English. Do you ever come up with a bar in Spanish and you're like, dang, I don't even know how to move this over to English? Or are you just like, it's better as it is with Spanish in the OG language?
Yeah, there's some songs and some things that are better said and understood in Spanish that it's not even like worth translating to English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it wouldn't make sense, or it might take away some of the oomph that the line has in Spanish if you try to translate it, because now it sounds maybe weird or like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And for you, there's a lot of power in being able to rap and sing and two different languages. And how good does that make you feel to know that like you've got family back home that's listening and you can sing for people in New Mexico that speak English, Spanish, people that do both, the breed of Spanglish? How good of a feeling is that?
It feels good. I feel like I have like a little extra advantage because I'm able to reach a lot more people, and the music scene, or like the culture and the Latin community with music is just so huge. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's not. I mean, you're talking about Mexico, Colombia, Puerto Rico, Cuba, so much Latin countries that can pick it up and run with it because they can understand it. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm able to reach just a lot more people with it.
And I feel like Latino music fans are really diehards. Like, people in America love music, obviously, but like when you're popular in like Latin America countries, you're popular.
Yeah,
like,
once they love you, that's it. You know, you're made. So
you're like, good forever.
I'm trying to get there. So.
And for this next little segment of the show, I want to ask you guys both, what's hot or not in your life right now? And to give you guys an example, recently what's hot for me, Memphis rap has really been something that I've been listening to. I'm like a big Suicide Boys fan, but I was like, let me go back to the OG. So I've been listening to like more 3 6 Mafia and like Dred Scott and things like that. And what's out for me right now, I'm trying to waste less time on my phone. Man, I was scrolling on TikTok for hours the other night, and I was like, girl, you got to get it together. You could have gone to the gym. Like, so what's something that's hot in your life now? Like right now, what's hot?
Obviously the album. Yeah. And you didn't mention that you've been listening to Memphis rap. We do have a Memphis artist on the label that is on the album.
Nice.
His name is Don Wick. So and the songs that are on the album that he's on are super dope. So that's what's hot for me. What else is hot? I've been going to the gym. I'm not lying. So
Good for you.
That's what's hot for me too. Fetty was the one that told me, hey, let's go to the gym. I'm like, I don't do gym. I do burgers.
No,
but,
I feel.
You know what I mean? But okay, let's go. And so that's what's hot for me right now. Spending time with my kids. I do have kids. You know, I have 3 boys, 2 Angelo and my boy Chef. Those
Congratulations.
are the nicknames. So yeah, that's what's hot for me now. What's not hot for me? The weather. Oh my God. I'm not ready for this summer. Dude. It's gonna get so hot. I'm gonna roast. I'm gonna be a pot of beans. So that I'm not looking forward to that one. That's really it. Yeah. I'm trying to, I guess, just stay focusing on the better side, so I don't.
For sure.
Yeah.
Don't put any energy into the negative stuff, I guess.
Keep the negativity out of here.
Yeah, that's what's not in for you right now is negativity.
Yeah. So.
And for you, Fetty, what's hot and not in your life right now?
The music, just putting the music out, staying busy with that. The album is what's really hot. From first track to the last track was 20 tracks on it.
20.
Wow.
Yep. And then I'm listening to a lot of Key Glock. I like Key Glock.
Oh, I love Key Glock. I wish you wouldn't have said that. We could make a whole podcast episode on him alone.
That's my dude. And Dolph, you know what I mean? R.I.P. But also, like, I don't know. I'm a big conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
So I'm like really into this Diddy trial.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I've been like, you know, doing a lot of research with that shit, and shout out to Whitney Webb because she's doing a good job with her journalism. And what's not, you know, the weather back and forth, you know, bipolar weather in Albuquerque is crazy.
Constant.
You don't know whether to wear a sweater or excuse my language, a sweater or a t-shirt. But yeah, trying to stay cool.
Yeah. And I know this will take a brief second so we can pause video-wise on this. I'm wanting to ask musicians now, what are like the top 3 songs you've been playing on repeat recently? So if you guys want to like whip out your phones and kind of check out some music that you've been listening to, I'd love to.
Like just in general?
Yeah,
or my
just
own?
In general. Just in general. Yours
general.
and in general.
Okay. So I listen to a lot of not rap sometimes.
Yeah.
People like get taken back because I'll be listening to like mariachi or ranchero music.
Yeah. Dude, I'll go from like Young Dolph and Key Glock to like Fleetwood Mac, and I'm skipping around listening to Stevie Nicks. Who doesn't?
Yeah, so I've been listening to like Cristian Nodal just dropped some new music. Grupo Firme, I really got into their stuff when they were hitting like pretty hard last year. Morgan Wallen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually like his new project. I'm not gonna lie. So shout out to Morgan Wallen. He did a great job on that album.
All right.
Who else? I am gonna pull out my phone and see what my playlist looks like. Manuel Turizo just dropped a new one that I thought was pretty good. Oh, you know what? I've been listening to this artist. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him, or I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Multi-season or multi-season? I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. So I'm gonna reach out to him because I want to do a song with him.
Nice.
But I've been listening to a lot of his stuff, and then another artist. I don't know if he's from Virginia. I might be wrong. Sorry about that. Mac Harrison.
Okay.
Like he just released some new stuff. I've been waiting for like 4 years for new stuff,
and you were ready.
I've been reaching out for about 4 years too, and I haven't been able to get through. But he just put out some new stuff, so I thought it sounded pretty good.
Do you ever hear someone's music and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have written that? Like that should be my song.
Yeah, and so like that's these artists that I mentioned. I like their stuff because like when I listen to them, I'm like, damn, I wish I could have been on this.
That's like inspo.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. So that's why I like to listen to it. Who else do I want to? I want to work with Snow the Product. That almost
Snow the Product.
So that almost came to be like recently.
What?
And so I had a producer send me a message, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to work with Snow the Product?" I say yes.
Whoa.
And then afterwards, he's like, "It's not gonna happen." I said, "Why?" He's like, "Well, it looks like she's not gonna be out. She's not really interested in coming around this way." I'm like, "All right, Snow, hit me up."
We'll run it back. We'll run it back again.
I'm coming. I'll be there.
You'll be there. And Fetty, for you, what's some music you've been listening to, and how do you think that influences the way that you do things, having a record label?
Yeah, definitely. So other than Glock and Dolph, it's like I really like Afrobeat.
Oh, okay.
So I've been listening to a lot of Rema and Wizkid and stuff like that. And it does influence my music. As far as, making beats, like, it has influenced my latest beats. I don't have a full-fledged studio right now, but I am working on the MPC Key 37. I don't know if you know.
No, educate me.
Well, it's like, right now it's a whole music station in one keyboard.
Oh, wow.
And you can record vocals in it and everything.
Nice.
So I've already, done a few songs in that, and they come out pretty good. So the quality's great. But as far as music, man, I'm just all over the place as well.
Yeah. And for you, what is something that people don't know about you that you wish that they knew? What is one little fact about Ayo Soldier, whether that's your personal life or your music, that you wish more people knew?
I'm a business graduate.
All right.
So a lot of times when I get looked at, people don't think that I know a lot of things that I know.
Yeah.
And then when we start talking and they start to get to know how I am, they're like, oh wait, you know stuff.
You're educated.
Yeah, I seem one way, but know what I mean. I do know a bunch of other different stuff. Or what's another thing? Know what I mean, that people think. People seem to think that I'm also maybe from the Middle East.
Oh, okay.
Know what I mean? I get that a lot. Know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
But I grew up in New Mexico. Know what I mean? I'm consider myself from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I've been here pretty much my whole life. So, yeah, just know what I mean. That's about it.
For sure. And one of my last questions, just because you said that, do you feel like because you're a rapper, people might not perceive you as being as educated or maybe as polite? Do they kind of sometimes are like, oh, you're a rapper? Do you notice that people have a perception of you because of that?
I think yes, but before that they perceive me as not talented. Know what I mean? I get that for some reason there's this belief that New Mexican artists aren't talented. And so sometimes I don't really like to brag or to tell people that I make music because they look at me like, oh, yeah.
Another SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my little homie raps too. Or my little cousin raps too. Or I'm like, well, that's cool. You know what I mean? But you should listen to it. You might like it. Know what I mean? So convincing people to really pay attention is kind of hard. But once they actually do pay attention, they get hooked. They're like, oh, I didn't know it was like that. No, it's like that. You should listen and when a local artist comes up to you and tries to show you your music, you should maybe give them a chance because you don't know what you're missing out on. So yeah.
And I think that's it from us over here. So check out Ayo Soldier and his newest album. Thank you guys both so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
I feel like you're playing with me. I'm feeling like you're playing with me. For real. With the things that you say to me. With the things that you say to me. Oh. You say you want to stay with me, but you still act the same with me. How that works? That's why I feel like you're playing with me. I hate feeling like you're playing with me. Oh. When did I become your toy to play with? If you ain't meaning what